What's good, y'all? Love is Blind, episode number 10, The Text from an Ex. X. Listen, y'all. This is episode 10, and we are just meeting some of the exes from the pods. Is this normal? Was it like this in the other seasons? I don't recall it being like this. I feel like they were meeting the other people by like episode 7 or 8 or so. And then, well, we'll get there. So this episode, we see Ramses and Marissa having a conversation. So apparently, she's going through PMS, and he was upset that she turned him down for sex, and he wants to know if that's how it's going to be in the long run through their marriage. Like, is she going to be having times where she turned him down? And she brought up a valid scenario, like, are you going to react this way when we're pregnant and having a kid? And sometimes when you're pregnant, before the kid arrives, you can't have sex. And then after the kid arrives, you can't have sex either. Are you going to be one of those ones that's mad and upset that you're not getting sexually satisfied? I was like, she's right. Like, Ramses, what? For all of that progressive talk and that you're not with the misogyny, you're showing up very misogynistic, sir, in this instance. Like, what the hell? And Marissa tripped me out when she was talking about what they was planning for the wedding. And she was like, how about there's no wow? And I was like, he said, so we're going to just descend from the heavens? I started cracking up. I thought that was super funny. With Garrett and Taylor, they having a conversation about that they're leaving in a day or two to go and meet her parents. The wedding's not going to happen if he don't get to meet her parents before the wedding and she gets their approval. But it's also mentioned that his mother is probably not going to show up. So my initial response to her reaction to this was correct. That lady really don't see it for Taylor marrying her son. And she tried to throw it off as how you going to raise kids and stuff like that. And remember, I said the silence was so loud. It's because Taylor is Asian and her son is a white male. And then towards the end of the episode, no, we'll get there. Anywho, my initial response to his mom was correct. Because why are you still so upset saying that you're not even coming to the wedding? Like, lady, get over it. Your son is a man and he's making decisions for himself. That daggone Hannah and Nick. Hannah, just go and say you don't like that man. And let him go about his life and his business. Because you keep reiterating, because I really, really love you. I want this to work. But you got to do all these things to make me happy. You got to change yourself. You got to read. You got to do this. You got to do that. Girl, you don't like him. He ain't the one for you. Just cut it and go on about your life. Go on about your life and find the one that really loves you for who you are and is willing to put up with your mess. Because I'm sure if there was somebody that you was really, really into, you wouldn't have all these lists and these requirements and stuff. And the only reason you having that with Nick is because he's not the one you like for real. And you trying to force it, and that's not going to work, sweetheart. It's not going to work. Tyler and Ashley having a conversation, and he's still telling her more effing lies. It is so hard to watch this when we already all know the truth. Especially since the mother of the kids came out this weekend and said, don't make me lay all your ish bare, like Chanel said in Save the Last Dance. I can lay all your ish bare, Nikki. Remember she said that? Kerry Washington in Save the Last Dance, when she was talking to Bianca Lawson. Yeah, that's what Tyler's baby mama said. Because she actually came out and said, Ashley asked him, about what his relationship was like with those kids. Did they even know what he looked like? And he said no. And I'm like, you're lying. That people didn't put out the pictures of you spending time and doing all the things. And then I seen a picture of the girl. She definitely is a stud. But still, she a stud, but you still had a relationship with them. And then you explain to Ashley that you did this for a friend because you knew she couldn't afford to go and pay, thousands of dollars to get this done or whatever. So you did it for her. So if you knew she couldn't afford to pay the thousands of dollars to be able to have a kid, why is it that you owe thousands of dollars in child support? I want to know what the agreement and the dynamic was with that, because what the hell? I don't get it. How was it you was doing a friend a favor, but you also want child support? I don't get it, y'all. I don't. So yeah, I'm finished talking about Tyler. Like I said, he's telling a lot of lies. Like, a lot of his stuff is not adding up. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, so Alex meets Tim's parents. And it seems like it went well, but I feel like Tim's mom was just basically letting Alex know that marriage is a choice and it is work. And it doesn't matter how long you two knew each other before you actually say I do. What matters is the commitment to keep saying I do and choosing to be together over and over again. She made mention of the fact that Tim is much like her in their dispositions and personalities of not wanting to be bothered with people and stuff like that. And she looks to the husband, and he just seems like a yes man, because he didn't have a whole lot to say. I don't know if it's he didn't feel comfortable with the cameras and all that, but he didn't have much to say. She just looked to him, and he would just say yep or not, yes or whatever. But Tim looked exactly like his father. But the thing that weirded me out about Tim and Alex, the very next day, I feel like it was, he broke it off with her, told her he never want to see her again. And I'm just sitting here looking at the screen like, what? But why? He used the excuse of the fact that he got up, went to the store, did all the shopping, came back, did all the grilling and cooking to make an impression upon her father and her family. He did the dishes after that as well. But with his parents, I didn't see her cooking a meal for them or anything like that. And he said that as soon as the cameras wrapped and they left, she went and took a nap. She went to sleep. You know what? As I'm talking about this to y'all right now, I think I see what it is. Tim is, in Tim's mind, Alex is lazy. When he got to see her place and see how she lived, he wasn't too comfortable and too fond of that. And in so many words, I put all this effort in to oppress your father and your parents and your brothers and everything. And from what we see, she didn't put any effort like that when it came to meeting his parents. And the fact that she went in the room and went to sleep afterwards, she said I went and took a nap for an hour. Because he made a big deal about her being gone all day the previous day for work. And I think she called him once or twice. Called him once, texted him twice. And came in and wanted to take another nap. And he was upset about it. He said he was upset about that. But like she said, you went through all of that. Asked my hand in marriage to my father just 2 days ago. And today, you're ending it all like you don't want to get married. And he said, no, and I don't want to see you ever again. I was just like, oh, wow. Tim, yeah, he got some issues. Alex, it might hurt right now. It might be embarrassing right now. But in the long run, you'll be better off. Because you shouldn't be in a marriage like that. I feel like you'd be walking on eggshells. Am I leaving out anybody? Nope, because Monica and Oluwa Steven, as Jesse Wu calls him, they already broke up. And we don't see him at all this episode because they all get together for a flapper party. This is when they meet the other people from the pods that they talked to. And Hannah made sure she told Nick, listen, are you going to be talking to them girls? Because he said he had a thing with somebody named Kate. I don't even remember her. He said he had a thing with her. They was each other number ones for like the first couple of days. And then it went, like, it just didn't work out. And he ended up with Hannah. So he was like, I'll probably see her. And then, Hannah, jealous tale. Oh, are you going to sit there and talk to her and all that stuff? And he's like, no, I'm good. I know what choice I made. I'm sticking by it. So they go and they have the meetup. They all getting dressed. We see some of them start to arrive. And we see Garrett and Taylor outside. And this is where the text from an ex come into play. They outside, she's upset because as they going in, she finds out that an ex of his sent him a message or something. And he said all he did was like the message. It kept moving. He didn't even read what the lady said. But Taylor is upset about it. Like, you should have been told me this, and it's effed up timing because I'm finding out about it as we're going in here when we're supposed to be meeting everybody and having a good time. So she gets herself together. They actually go in. At this point, we see this person named Kate that Nick used to have a connection with. She came straight up to them, spoke to him and Hannah, and was like, Nick, you are way more handsome than I thought you would be. You look really good in front of Hannah. And Hannah felt the way, but she tried to play it cool. Then we see Bowden come in, and him and Marissa speak. Ramses is right there. Then Ramses gives them their space, and they are both super bubbly. And I really feel like they would have been a better match for one another. But Marissa and Bowden speak, and she's just like, do I look like what you imagine? He was like, a pretty girl? Yes, prettier. And she was like, you're taller than I imagined. I thought you would be short. And so they have a conversation, and basically she tells him, like, what we had in the pause was good, and I was in limbo all the way up to the very last second. But I realized that you and I are too high strung, and there will be a lot of energy, and I wanted somebody that was opposite of me. So that's why she picked Ramses. And then Ramses came back over and was like, but him and I are similar too. She was like, yeah, and your values and things like that, y'all similar, but basically, like, personality-wise, you're chill, and you help me to mellow out and chill out or whatever. So I was like, okay, that's cool. Even though I still think Bowden would have been a better choice for her. They all, like, sitting down chilling, and that's when that daggone Hannah in front. I'm trying to think if Kate was sitting there when this happened. But they're sitting down, it's just the ladies, and they're talking. And she's talking about Nick's maturity level and stuff. And then we get to the point. She says, this man don't like to munch. He not a muncher. She told him what he needed to do to please her in that way. And he has not been doing it. He don't believe in munching, she says. And that's really ticking her off. Because he only about getting himself off. He don't care about the woman meeting her needs in that way. But I still love him, though. I still want to marry him. No, you don't, girl. No, you don't. If he's not willing to do it now, what makes you think he's going to be willing to do it down the line? I'm a WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. And if the person changed for the better in the future, that's a cherry on top. But what you see right now is what you're going to get. And things might get worse. I always look at it like things might get worse, not specifically better all the time. So, yeah, no. But anywho, I was just like, oh, so that's what it is. You don't like this man. He don't sexually satisfy you, so why are you here? Then we see Monica come in, and she hugs everybody, and of course, they were like, well, where's Steven? And everybody started laughing. We know all of why Steven probably not going to show up. Tim and Alex arrived separately. Alex looks so pretty in her white flapper dress. And the ladies asked her, is she going to speak to him? She was like, absolutely not. He told me he never want to speak to me or see me again. So why am I going to go over there and say something to him? But then there was a moment that the camera panned to her staring off longingly and him staring off longingly. So I don't know if they did that to make us feel like they going to come back together or something, but I don't know. If I was Alex, I felt like I dodged a bullet and I wouldn't even try it with him anymore. I would let it go, to be honest with y'all. But then there's a part when Ashley Taylor, Tyler, and Garrett are sitting together. And I don't know how they get on the subject, but it's brought up about the message that the ex sent. And in this moment, Garrett shares that he responded to her. And Taylor is like, wait, you literally just told me before we came in here that you just liked it and you kept it moving. You didn't respond. Now you're saying you responded to her. So he getting choked up on his words and everything. She's clearly upset. She gets up. Ashley goes after her. And they talk, but we don't get to see their conversation. And then later on in the episode, we get the conversation that Taylor and Garrett had. And she's like, it's just too many red flags. So he's like, so you don't want me to go meet your dad tomorrow? She was like, if you don't go meet my dad or my parents, there's not going to be a wedding. It's just too many red flags. So are y'all two giving up at this point? Are y'all breaking up? Because the episode definitely ends with them in this conversation. And I want to know, are y'all giving up? Like, what's happening? Also, he said the text from the ex came out the blue. I wonder if it was that mother that prompted that ex to send him that damn message. Was that the mama being messy? Like, you better stick with your own kind, boy. That's what that mother gives me. I'm just going to say it. That mother gives me, you're not marrying that Asian girl. And I'm saying Asian, but I'm sure the mother is not using those words. I'm sure she's using something very offensive. I just don't, that mama don't want him marrying her. She don't. But those are my thoughts. Let's see what's going to happen in episode 11. Like I said, we maybe are seeing just the beginnings of this flapper party. Maybe some more people going to show up. I'm not sure, but maybe Oluwa Stephen is going to show up to the party. Who knows? We shall see. Let me get myself together and go to work. I'll see y'all in the next one.